Good morning, everyone. This is Lori Delk with the Nashville Networking Business Luncheons. So we do these all over Middle Tennessee and the Nashville area. Right now, of course, since we aren't allowed to meet in person, we are doing them via Zoom online. We are excited that we are going to start meeting back in person the third Friday of this month. So stay tuned for that schedule, so we can actually meet and greet in person, but we will still probably keep a different schedule for the online meeting, so stay tuned. So we always meet from 11:30 a.m. to 1 p.m. We have a 10 to 15 minute speaker who talks to us about different tips, tricks, ideas, things that can help us both in our personal as well as our business life to help get us to that next level. After that, we're gonna go around the room. Everyone will have 1 minute to give us your name, what you do for a living, how we can better refer other people to you. In person, we exchange business cards. Virtually here, you click the chat and we share them right here with each other on the screen. And then at the very end, I'm going to show you a quick video about a great tool you could use in your personal as well as your business life. So we are going to go ahead and get started. So please give your attention to our speaker, Miss Carrie Jeffries.
Hey all, just checking. Lori, can you hear me?
Yes, perfect.
Okay, great. So give me 1 second here. I gotta hit a button. All right, hold on just a sec. Okay, here we go. So the thing that I'm seeing is that people want leads, 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 and to close more deals faster. But the problem is that there's a crowded market and competition, and they're running harder and faster, getting very minimal results. And it's hard to get the attention, which is the visibility. And even harder, it's to keep that attention and interest and really be the go-to solution. I call it becoming the essential or the vital versus an optional business. And there's a lot of reasons that this is happening. So a lot of them are getting commoditized. That's, just another fill in the blank. And you've seen a lot of this in networking, or they're fishing in the wrong pond, or they're solving the wrong problem. Or at the end of the day, one of the biggest things is that there's no real relationship. So how do you become essential and vital versus optional? Well, that's really super, super simple. It's marketing, but people are like, oh, marketing's this big, crazy word, and it's this thing that's scary, and I don't know how to do it, and it seems so complicated. That's because so many people are listening to the gurus. I say screw the gurus because they're overcomplicating it, so you need them. It's really this simple. Marketing is just this: messaging, connecting, and inviting, or asking, however you want to put that. And it really comes down to this: the right message to the right people, solving the right problem. If you want to go a little deeper, it's with the right offer at the right time. But really, it's those three core essential things. One of the things I created in order to help people really understand this, and you may have seen this, but it's amazing when I work with people how many people are missing things in these boxes. There are 4 boxes, and I call it the core 4 matrix. Solving the right problem, and by the way, that's the perceived problem of your audience, to the right people, that's the right lane you're in, with the right point of view, that's your messaging, your communication, and then your proffer, which is your solution, basically, that you're offering them in the offer. And the offer and the solution are different. A lot of people end up selling the thing instead of selling the solution. So let's break this down because we don't have time to go through all of this. There's a lot in that. But how do you get more leads? Well, the first thing is we have to look at the people. That's the lane you're running in. And you have to be able to own and dominate that lane if you're going to fill your bucket. So really it comes down to this. There are 2 buckets, 2 main core buckets if you're writing this down. There's new and then there's existing. Now, most people spend time over on the new, which is fine. You have to keep feeding it in. But here's the real gem. The gem is in the existing. That's where the money really is. So if you go over to new, there's really 2 ways to do that. You can get more people, or you can get a bigger transaction with each one, or you can do a combination. For existing, there's 3 options. You can raise your price, you can do a bigger transaction, or you can sell them. Here's the key: sell them more often, but not more often with the same stuff necessarily. It's more options to the same people. That's what you call the LCV, the lifetime customer value. That's the value they have to you. So a long time ago, I was working for a weight loss company and doing a lot of sales for them, particularly in corporate. One of the craziest things that ever was, they focused all their time on new. But the crazy part with new is that it cost, I don't even know what it cost them more, but I know it cost them a hell of a lot more time, energy, money, resources, etc. And they spent all their time over there, but that was a smaller profit margin versus the ones they already had. The reason that the gem is the existing is that you already have a relationship with them. So when I came in, I was able to very quickly, in 9 months, totally escalate the sales in my territory to double what it was just in less than 9 months, just by simply focusing on the existing and selling more to the existing and selling more often and keeping them. Because one of the dirty little secrets behind everything is what you call churn. That's the people that you lose. Well, that's why you got to keep feeding the front end, because you have churn. Now, you're never going to avoid it completely, but if you figure out a way to really turn those customers into fans, and I would call them super fans, which are like these loyal lifetime people that stick with you like a cult following. So let's talk about that, because that's the more exciting piece. So that moves over into sort of your messaging, your POV, and it really comes down to communication, connecting, and credibility. But what does that mean? That's relationship. I call it the RPM formula. And to make it simple, we're going to look at it like this. Yes, I love diagrams. The RPM formula: relationship, personal, and minister. In the middle of all that's your audience. We know we have to develop a relationship, but I cannot tell you how many people I've done business with, how many people I've consulted with that really don't develop a relationship. Those that do, those are the people that I end up referring. The personal, that's the personal touch. There's all kinds of ways you can add a personal touch. It has to be personalized. It might be, for example, I had an e-commerce business for 10 years. And one of the ways that I was really able to develop this bond with people was from the very beginning of managing their expectations, but also putting like that little surprise inside of the box, you know, when you open the cereal. And what was it? Everybody got a handwritten note and got a little extra something. And it was amazing how many people wrote back to say that you either really made their day, or it was exciting for them, or something like that. So that's the personal. And then minister, you're thinking, what the heck does that have to do? Minister is not a minister, but what does a minister do? They serve people. They serve people at the highest level. They care about them first and foremost before themselves. They support them, they nurture them. So that's the minister. And there is the little gem in that. That's what turns a person from a customer into a fan, into a super fan that gives you a lifetime loyalty. It's a way that you can sustain your business and have, you know, instead of just surviving, it's a sustainability. It's a sustainable growth. It's something that can move beyond just the ordinary. And when things get tough and there's hardship, you become the essential go-to instead of just the optional, that's nice to have, but I really don't need that. How can you do this in a manageable way? Because that's the biggest thing. And I know I'm sure some of you out there are thinking that, like, okay, that sounds great, but how in the world am I going to manage this? It does become harder if you're an 8-figure business, but for everybody else, it's completely manageable. And you can start with these first 2 things. And if you do nothing else and you do just these 2 things, you will transform your business today. And that's your top 10 and your hot 100. Now, a lot of people are playing the numbers game. That's great. That's fine, I suppose. But you end up with lukewarm leads, or just completely talking to the wrong people. So if you work on your top 10, those are your game changers. Those are people that are the connectors, that can open the doors, that can really elevate your business to an entirely new level. One of the people that I've worked with for a very long time has a very large marketing business. It took him a very long time to develop one of these relationships, but when he opened the door to that relationship, it literally was a 7-figure door. A 7-figure door. It's insane. These are your game changers. The Hot 100 is manageable because it's hard to manage, thousands of relationships, but you can have that core Hot 100 that you absolutely can focus on. And there's a few ways that you can do that. It's about consistency. It's about connecting at a deeper level. It's that personal piece. And it's really about looking at it from their point of view, what's in it for them. So that's that relationship piece that you're developing. If you just do that, a lot of people will tell you need to fill your funnel with all these things. You don't. That is all you need. Just start there. We're so busy over on the new, that we have forgot all of the existing, and those people will transform your business in a way nothing else can. There was an article written, 1,000 True Fans, and it's wonderful, and I encourage you to read that. But really, if you break it down to even something smaller and manageable, not only can you have 6 figures out of that 100, I have seen people get to the 7-figure mark, and really the top 10 can open that and take that even to a higher level. So I want you to think about that as you go along. So if you're wondering how to do more of this, I'm going to be doing, at the end of June, I will have a workshop that we're going to do where we're going to deep dive into this and get a little more intensive and have it specific for your business. But until then, just focus on the top 10 and the Hot 100.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Carrie. And if you've been listening to us online, we do record these. They are on our website at NashvilleNetworkingBusinessLuncheon.com. So we always, every single week, have a speaker who gives us these great tips, tricks, ideas that can help us and that can take you to that next level in your business. We will see you next week. This is the end of our live part. Join us in person or on the Zooms officially, and that way you can see the rest of the meeting as well. Talk to you soon. Thank you, everyone.
Nice.